guys, today I'm going to be sharing a video that's just going to be kind of a chatting video, and I think I'm going to call this one like Girl Talk, What Makeup Means to Me. I recently saw a video from Meg's Makeup 8 where she talked about what makeup means to her and kind of the different viewpoints. There's a lot of people that have different opinions on what makeup means to them, and I thought it would be fun to start a conversation with you guys about what it means to me and what it means to you. So basically, I'm going to start from the beginning. When I was in middle school and all the way through high school, I had terrible acne. So when I started using makeup, I think it was more of something that I thought would give me a good confidence boost, just because I had such bad acne and it made me very self-conscious that, you know, using makeup helped cover that up and help me feel a little bit better. And as I've grown up, as I've gotten older, that's become less necessary. I can totally leave the house without wearing makeup and feel fine about that, but it's just sometimes nice to have a confidence boost. I just filmed a video where I mentioned that I've always struggled with acne. I still struggle with acne, and it's nice to have that ability to cover it up and make myself feel a little bit better, that I don't have to worry about it so much. Right now I'm breaking out really badly, and I tend to break out badly because of stress and things like that. So it's nice to have that tool to make yourself feel better, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't think it's necessary that you have to have makeup to make yourself feel better either. One thing that I notice on different videos on YouTube is that a lot of people tend to comment on like tutorials and things like that. Oh, you looked great without the makeup. You don't need the makeup. You look great. And for a lot of people, it's not necessarily about the fact that they don't feel like they can look okay without makeup. It's that they want to play with makeup. And that's kind of my other main idea with makeup, is that makeup for me at this point in my life is more of a creative outlet. So when I moved to a small tiny town for my first teaching job, I moved there at the beginning of the summer, and I really didn't have a way to get to know anybody there. So that's when I started watching YouTube videos. So it's going on about 4 years now that I've been watching beauty videos on YouTube and getting involved in that community. And I had never really known a whole lot about makeup up until that point. Like, I knew drugstore makeup and things like that. I owned like one Clinique eyeshadow, but that was kind of the extent of what I knew about makeup at that point in my life. And then I started watching YouTube videos and seeing all these other makeup things that people were doing and learning about high-end makeup and Urban Decay and Benefit and all that stuff. And I was actually, you know, in driving distance now, because I'd never been before, driving distance to like Ulta and Sephora, and I could actually play with those things. And suddenly makeup became more of a creative outlet for me. And now I wear makeup almost every day, and it's not because I feel like I have to, it's because it's more of a fun routine for me. I like the process of putting on makeup and seeing the different looks I can create with different lipsticks and different eyeshadows. And it's just something that's kind of a fun hobby for me. And I know I spend a lot of money on makeup, you know, yearly or whatever, but I do that because it's my hobby. I don't necessarily do lots of other recreational things that I would spend money on. I, don't golf or anything like that, where people would spend money on golf clubs and things like that. This is my hobby. It's kind of fun because my boyfriend understands that, and so he spends a lot of money on electronics and, computer stuff and games and things like that, and that's his hobby. And he understands that when I spend money on makeup, it's because that's my hobby and it's something that I enjoy doing. And now that I do YouTube videos, it's kind of fun to get to share the things that I've experimented with you guys. And so, I don't know, that's kind of what that is for me. And my last major thing that I love about makeup is that it can be a transforming process. It's not like you need it to feel better about yourself all the time. That's not what I mean by transforming. I mean, like, you can make yourself look completely different through makeup, which is really cool to me. Recently I had a friend on Facebook post somebody's tutorial from YouTube and comment on how ridiculous it was, because when they took off all that makeup, the person wasn't going to know what they looked like underneath because they turned themselves into a completely different person. And it's interesting to see that perspective from somebody that doesn't necessarily find makeup as a hobby, and my perspective, because I watched that tutorial and I think it's really cool to see that transformation and see how different that person made themselves look through the video. I think that's a really cool thing. I've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race lately, and I think I watched like 4 or 5 seasons in the course of July, but I love watching that partially because I think it's really fun to see the drag queens do all of their makeup and see how they turn themselves from guys into, this perception that they are women. I think that's really cool, because there's some of them that they look absolute, like you would never match the male version of them with the female drag version of them, just because they transform themselves so beautifully with makeup. And so I don't know, I just think that's a really cool idea, and it's fun to see that transformation. I was chatting with Megan on her video about that same idea. She shared with me an article about somebody that kind of did an experiment, and just through contouring and highlighting, they were able to take two female twins and make one look more feminine and one look more masculine. And I think that's just really interesting, that the ideas of male and female are somewhat dependent on just pure shadowing and contouring, and you could change yourself very, very easily like that. I think that's really cool. I don't know, I just think makeup is such an interesting thing to me. It's a hobby, obviously, so I love seeing different looks that people come up with and seeing how people can be creative with makeup, and just the way that little things can make a huge difference in the way people look. Just by changing the placement of an eyeshadow, your eyes can look completely different. By changing the placement of where you contour, your face can look completely different. You can make your nose look crazy thin, like one of the drag queens on the last season of RuPaul's Drag Race contoured her nose like crazy, and it just looked so thin and like pointy, but if you took off the contour, it did not look like that. I think that's really cool. I don't know, maybe because it's a hobby for me and I'm so invested kind of in the YouTube community and how people do makeup and those tutorials and things like that, I have a different viewpoint than some might, but that's my perspective. I don't think it's something that people need to feel confident about themselves necessarily, but if people do use that and it makes them feel better about themselves, I don't feel like that's something that people should judge them for either. I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody to do little things to make themselves have a confidence boost. That's just my personal opinion, but I would love to hear what you guys think about makeup and what makeup means to you. If you're interested in doing a video like this, I'd love to see it. If you have done a video like this already, I'd like to see that too. It's just interesting to see people's perspectives on makeup and what they think. If you don't have video, or if you don't make videos and you want to just comment down below on your thoughts or any responses to what I had to say, I would love to see those too. I'd love to open up a dialogue about this just because it's a fun topic and I love to hear what people have to say about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.